Hey guys, today I'm doing my wrap up for all of the books that I read in September, and you'll be pleased to know I did have a more successful reading month than last month. I think last month I read like 3 books or something. This month I did read more. The first book that I read this month was a reread, and it was Pale Fire by Vladimir Nabokov. I really didn't want to reread this, but I had to for uni. I'd read it once and felt like I needed to read it again to be able to write about it. You've probably heard me talk about this before, but if you haven't, it's basically a poem and then the story is like within the commentary that a writer like writes about the poem. So it's all fiction obviously, but it's set out as if it's like real, and it's just crazy. The person writing the commentary is like a mad person. He's insane and delusional, so it's kind of frustrating to read because you're just like, you're so delusional, it's like annoying. But I actually really enjoyed the poem this time around. Last time I read the commentary first and then the poem second, which I think was a really bad order to read it, and you kind of have to decide how you want to read it. And yeah, I was kind of reading the commentary and flicking back to the poem without realizing that the person writing the commentary was like a mad person, and it wasn't really anything to do with the poem in a way. So yeah, I think I enjoyed the poem a lot more this time because I read it first and understood what the poem was actually about, I think, and I really liked it. There's one particular passage of the poem which I've highlighted, which I will just read to you because I really liked it. It's kind of like something that resonated. So, somehow I suspected that the truth about survival after death was known to every human being. I alone knew nothing, and a great conspiracy of books and people hid the truth from me. So I really like that. But yeah, like I said, the commentary is crazy and really frustrating, and I've written so many notes in this. This time, every time I got to a part that I thought didn't make sense, like a word that I wasn't familiar with, I would Google it, and I discovered that a lot of the words are actually made up and were made up by the author in writing this book. So that's kind of another thing that frustrated me. So I kind of discovered more like hidden things in it. But I do find it really annoying sometimes when books are written like that, where you have to read it multiple times to like discover things. Like sometimes that's good, and I think that happens with any rereading of a book. You always notice things that you didn't notice the first time, but this is written in a way where that's deliberate. I enjoyed it more, but it's still frustrating for me. But I think I would raise my rating. I think I might have rated it like 2 stars the first time I read it, and I think I would probably bump it up to a 3. I appreciate that it is really well written, but just because it is so frustrating for me, I couldn't rate it any higher than that. So then the next books that I read were also rereads, kind of. I reread some of the Babysitter's Club books, which I did a video about that experience. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on that, that will be linked down below. But the ones that I reread were The Truth About Stacey, which is number 3, number 4, which is Marianne Saves the Day, number 5, which was Dawn and the Impossible 3, then number 7, Claudia and the Mean Janine, and number 8, Boy Crazy Stacey. I really enjoyed rereading all of these. By the time I got to this one, I was kind of over it, so I'm taking a bit of a break from rereading them now, but I will continue that like just whenever I feel like picking one up, because I can read one of these in like a day or so depending how much time I have on my hands. I'm not rating them just because they're rereads, and I don't usually rate rereads, especially kids books, like it's very hard. The last 2 books that I read this month, which I'm very pleased with myself for, I finished reading Clockwork Prince, which is from the Infernal Devices series, and I loved this book so much. I gave it 5 stars, which is funny because I gave the first one, Clockwork Angel, I gave that 4 stars because I really enjoyed it, but it just didn't like have the X Factor thing, you know, like it didn't really feel very important or meaningful to me. But this one was super emotional, and the character developments were amazing. The relationships between the characters are amazing. The storyline was amazing. Like everything was perfect. There were references to literature that I really enjoyed, more so than in the first book, and it was absolutely incredible. Loved this book so much, and it just made me feel so many emotions, I guess. So I really liked this one. Then the next one, Clockwork Princess, I am still currently reading, so I haven't finished reading this at the moment, but I'm filming this on Saturday the 24th or something like that of September, putting it up closer to the end of September, so by the time I put this video up I would have finished reading it, so I wanted to include it. I can say now that I think I'm going to give it 5 stars as well, just by what's happened so far, and it's, yeah, very along the same sort of lines as Clockwork Prince. I feel like it's of the same level, so I'm pretty sure that I'm going to give it 5 stars. I don't know what's going to happen at the end yet, but I'm very, very curious and really enjoying it. So I highly recommend the Infernal Devices series if you haven't read it yet. If you want to find out what I did end up rating this book, or if you want to know like my thoughts in more detail, you can check out my Goodreads, which will be linked down below, because I would have put up a review on this book by the time that this video goes live, so you'll see my thoughts there. So that's all of the books that I read for this month. I really enjoyed, like I said, the Infernal Devices, but I am kind of sad that it's almost over. Thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I upload every Tuesday and Friday, and I will see you guys with my next video. Bye.